Yo, what's going on, Geek Corner? This is your boy, Earthsmack, the mad scientist.
And it's the infamous one, everybody. If you haven't heard when those three guys by the name of MVP, the almighty Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin, listen to the theme song. It's got Smoke Dizza, West Side Gun, and MVPs on it. The first verse is cool, but I need everybody to look at my caption. MVP went in on that Hurt Syndicate theme song. He got the second verse. Bruh. I didn't even see. I knew MVP was talented. We know he can wrestle. We know he knows his martial arts. MVP a rapper?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Big things stopping.
Yeah.
Big things stopping. The brother can, man. That man, if you heard, we can find you some work. Oh!
Hey, that man went in though. He went in.
He went in on that verse. He went in on that verse, dog. All the way in, man. All the way.
And y'all already know what this is. This is Turnbuckle Talk, man, where we talk about pro wrestling, on this 1 day a week. And honestly, now this, I'm gonna let you guys know, this is, peeking the curtain a little bit. Now, this show is going to be pre-recorded. Now we recorded this on Tuesday night. So, but we're going to give our predictions though on AEW Double or Nothing. So we definitely going to give our predictions on that. I do have the fight card. Now, the fight card at this point in time is not all the way filled out. From what I realized, I could not find the actual picture for Anarchy in the Arena. So who's going to be in Anarchy in the Arena? We will find out. It's solidified on Wednesday night. We will definitely find that out. But we do know that it's going to involve Swerve, Kenny Omega, Samoa Joe, and Willow. We do know that is for certain. And honestly, when you look at, I know I'm going to teeter into the main event because I know we're going to talk about it a little bit. But, shout out to Willow. Willow actually re-signed with AEW for a multi-year deal. And said that she's been very, very happy with AEW and how they're using her because honestly, I consider her the ace for the women. She's been wrestling in Japan and been showing off in Japan and honestly in AEW. And I feel like, some pillars need to be built here when it comes to the women's division. Oh, also, before we jump into some more pro wrestling news and reviews and analyzation, there are not one, but two videos that are out right now. Now, the first video was an interview with Staying Like a Bee. She's a film geek, and she also works on Chicago Fire since day one, since season one. She's a Chicagoan, and she talks about her experience with Chicago Fire currently and other shows she's worked on, such as Melrose Place, like the remake, and people that she had dinner with. Oscar parties or Oscar watch parties and stuff like that, how her mom and her sister also is in the industry in different jobs. So if you haven't seen that interview yet, go ahead and check out the interview. Plus, we analyzed two movies. We analyzed Mortal Kombat from 95, and I'm talking about from cover to cover. And we also analyzed Jumpin' Jack Flash with Whoopi Goldberg as well. So go ahead and check that out. Also, the second video that we thought that I posted was about a comic that sold over 400,000 copies at the moment of release. And I am talking about, let me tell you something. I'm talking about this bad boy right here, Battle Beast. That's what I'm talking about. He has his own solo series out by Robert Kirkman. I highly encourage you guys to go ahead and check that out. Now, it's sold out, but the second printing of Battle Beast is coming out with 3 new variant covers. All right, so just go ahead and check out that video and my coverage of Battle Beast #1. And man, it's a doozy, man. It is it's bloody goodness, man. He is a walking fade. That is what that man is.
For anybody who don't know who Battle Beast is, go watch Invincible on Prime. Now, I'm very late to the party when it comes to Invincible because I only know him through the show. I have yet to go back and read the comics. Yeah. But But when I seen Battle Beast for the first time, I'm saying, okay, this is just one big walking Tiger Zord right here. What is he gonna do? Because he reminds me of the white. He reminds me of the white Tiger Zord, but can fight, bruh. When he whoops up on Invincible, okay, he whoops up on Invincible, but then you see him this last season. All he wanted to do was fight Viltrumites.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mama scared of Viltrumites.
Except for that one.
Not him.
Except for that one.
Not him. If there's 10 Viltrumites in the if there's 10 Viltrumites in the area, all of them catch that work. Oh, and absolutely. When I mean all of them catch that work, it's this man's hands believe in sharing is caring. And he's going to care the hell out of you with them sharing ass hands of his.
Yes.
He don't believe in taking L's.
He gets excited at the name Viltrumite because he knows full well. Now, let me tell you something. If you've seen Invincible as an Amazon Prime series, take notice on his first appearance when he was whooping everybody's ass, like whoop everybody's ass in the office. Notice there was one person that was sitting out there floating and watching all this stuff unfold because he himself didn't want to smoke. That is Omni-Man. This man did not go see about this dude. He watched his son get his brains beat out by this man, bro.
Look here, if I'm gonna let my son learn how this shit goes, was a father, that was him. Because Omni-Man absolutely sat that one out.
He definitely did. He definitely did, man.
That one out.
I feel like if Battle Beast saw Nolan floating out there watching this chaos unfold, I feel like he will say,
"Teach a man how to squabble."
Literal meaning of
easy, man. But Gail, go ahead and check out the most recent issue and posting of Battle Beast #1, man. I had fun covering this, and there are some more comic book content coming out this week. Letting you guys know. I know it's been a little minute, so I put out some comic book declassified stuff, but man, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, man. But today, man, we're gonna talk about AEW. We're gonna talk about AEW wrestling, some AEW Double or Nothing, man. How do you feel like about this pay-per-view as a whole?
Based on what we've seen, Tony don't miss. Tony hasn't really missed with pay-per-views.
Right.
Like we said last week, this is a good moment for Tony Khan. Yeah. And here's why. We're still coming off of WrestleMania and we're coming off of Backlash. Backlash was cool. WrestleMania had quite a good bit of meh moments.
Right.
If I'm Tony Khan, one, it's a good time for some anarchy in the arena. That match ain't missed yet in my eyes.
No, ever.
That match ain't been a disappointment yet. So he's got the chance now to literally come out and say, this is our moment right here. You had All In and all of those stuff over there across the pond.
Right.
But you got a moment now in the same season as WrestleMania. This is your chance to say, man, screw it. Let's push these chips to the middle of the table. I think, man, me personally, to fully answer the question, I'm excited about Double or Nothing because he's got a chance right now. And matter of fact, again, where is Double or Nothing at?
Arizona.
It's in Arizona. It's in the desert. You have a chance to literally take advantage of the season. Because this is WrestleMania season. Now we're on the way to SummerSlam now, but you've got the chance now to really make a lot of folks kind of forget about those boring ass moments of WrestleMania and now be like, yeah, WrestleMania, okay, Double or Nothing, shit, boy, they did that thing. So I think I'm excited. There's some dope matches on here. I can't wait to see, who else is going to be on the card for Anarchy Arena. I hope Powerhouse Hobbs is in it. I'm a big Powerhouse Hobbs fan. I've seen him live in person before. So I mean, these matches, there's a huge opportunity, not just for Tony Khan, but for the entire company as a whole to take advantage of some slip-ups by WWE and WrestleMania. And this is not to, I'm pretty sure we got some viewers that are super tribalistic, whatever. But at the same time, man, this is a chance for AEW to get over the minor little hump, because I think their only hump is storytelling. Yeah. To me, that's some of the only problems. But they've been cooking lately. They've been cooking. So I think now it's time for them to go up. This pay-per-view is going to be a level up for them. If it's done right, it's a level up. If it's done wrong, they'll be stagnant for a little bit. If they do it right, they level up. And if I'm Tony Khan, that's all I'm thinking about. That's all I'm thinking about. Big picture. It's big. It's a big picture moment. All they got to do is execute. That's it. I think like Tony Khan rarely misses when it comes to pay-per-views, because it's always an entertaining pay-per-view. The weekly shows have been getting consistently better. The crowds have been getting like into it. They're doing residencies. They got a residency in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, a residency in Philly at a 2300. So they're doing these residencies, and Double or Nothing is your pay-per-view before All In, before your biggest pay-per-view. So also, and you're absolutely correct. Like, what happens at Double or Nothing, at least 60% of it is going to lead into All In, and you got to have like consistency going into that. So when we go into our first match of the card, now I'm not saying it's going to be the first match out there, but the first match on the card is Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe in a stretcher match. Like, this was announced a few days ago. Who do you think going to take this win here? This could go either way, because this is one of those theme type of matches right here. Normally what you'd see on national TV. Right. So I'm going to go with Briscoe.
I'm going to say Ricochet. I think Ricochet needs a dub in this, guys, because he is a villain and he is actually a really good heel. And people love to tease him about him
asshole heel too, boy.
Right, like him being bald and stuff like that, which is ironic because Mark Briscoe don't have hair. So
Briscoe does his by choice, though.
He does his by
choice. Well, Ricochet, look, I shave mine by choice. My hair still grows. It's just my hairline is far back. Ricochet got that. But he ain't even got that island, boy. He got that wave down, whereas there's nothing on top, but it's all on the sides. Yeah. So I mean, I wanted to say Ricochet. I could see Mark Briscoe winning because it's the theme. Yeah, I agree. Ricochet needs the dub because he's a villain and a damn good one. Yeah. But if this was a straight up one-on-one, one fall, I'm going Ricochet. Since it's got a stretcher match, which I'm pretty sure your ass got to be put on the stretcher, pushed to the back of the ambulance, I'm gonna go with Briscoe.
Go with Briscoe. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Ricochet on this one. But let me say this about Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is a maker, and what I mean by that is like anybody that is in the ring with him that is up and coming, he's going to solidify them as a performer going forward. Number one person that comes to mind is Kyle Fletcher. Like,
ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So like when you look at Kyle Fletcher, Yeah, he had a feud with Will Ospreay, but his bangers, his bangers were with Mark Briscoe. Like anytime they was in the ring with each other, they tore it down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
but anybody that's in the ring with Mark Briscoe, you a made man. All you gotta do is do your part. And Ricochet don't need to be made, but still yet though.
Yeah. And can I say this because of his matches with Mark Briscoe? For an example, you should see people are talking about Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah.
Like people are talking about Kyle Fletcher as if he, not to say like not to use that Brock Lesnar, and I've said this about Nick Wayne, but guys like Nick Wayne and Kyle Fletcher, the next big headliners. And because of guys like Mark Briscoe's at that point now where he doesn't mind putting somebody over. He doesn't mind making him look good. Like you said, he is a maker. He is I call him not just a maker, he is a moment maker. He makes who's in the ring with him have that moment to where you look back and be like, damn, Briscoe just made this guy look really good.
Yeah.
And the guy was already putting in the effort, but Briscoe was like, we're gonna go and get you to the next level right here.
Yeah.
So I mean, I agree. I can see it can go either way. I'm gonna go with Briscoe, but Ricochet being the type of heel he is, it wouldn't surprise me at all, not the least bit if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Next matchup is Will Ospreay and Hangman Page, man. This is a tough one, man. But it's easier for me to actually make this decision. But you want me to go first in mine?
Yeah.
What you thinking? It's my pick is Hangman Adam Page.
That's my pick too.
Hot damn.
Hangman's character needs it.
Yeah.
Ospreay could use it because it's Will Ospreay.
Yes.
But Hangman's character himself needs this one.
Yeah, Hangman needs this because if you look at that, he has arguably the best storyline in AEW. Like as far as starting with him and Swerve, their plethora of matches, the way they was telling the story, the way they actually approach each other in that hallway, and Swerve saying, I'm sorry, like that kind of, I deserved it, that kind of thing, and Hangman moving on from that, and him addressing that, and him getting to the finals in the only to meet Will Ospreay. I can see Tony Khan saying Will Ospreay takes his win and he faces Jon Moxley at All In, and Moxley maybe retain, and then when they go to All Out, which I think is going to be in Washington. Who's from Washington besides Bryan Danielson?
Hangman Adam Page, fresh out of VA.
He's fresh out of VA, but who's
from? Are we talking about Washington State?
Washington State, yeah.
Oh, that's the most dangerous man in all in AEW.
True, Swerve. But there's somebody else. But there's somebody else from Washington State too. He just climbed Mount Everest.
I don't want to see Darby Allin, man.
I feel like I don't
want to see Darby.
I feel like that what is going to. I feel like Will Ospreay is going to win. He's going to lose against Jon Moxley at All In, and then when they go to the next pay-per-view, Darby Allin going to come back in Washington State and win it in Washington State. Because remember now, AEW, well, Tony Khan is notorious for having hometown people win in their hometowns. Like he don't let most times he let them win. But if you really want to see, right, if you really want to see long-term storytelling here, I will have to say Hangman Page wins this and he beats Jon Moxley at All In. Maybe with the help of Darby Allin pulling up at All In, with sets up a feud with Moxley at the next pay-per-view. That's Darby's how I would.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so that's how I would do it. Now, one thing's for certain is that Darby is a flagship bearer, literally and figuratively, for AEW. This man planted an AEW flag on top of Mount Everest. Like he planted an AEW flag on top of Mount Everest. Nobody else did that. Like, so the only wrestling company at the top, like that should be a huge thing, right? But for the people that's actually been here, No offense to Darby, I will say my pick is Hangman. And I'm pretty, how you feel about it?
I'm gonna go with Hangman Adam Page too. Like I said, his character needs it, and
Mhm.
just to know Darby Allin, I don't want Darby to do nothing like to win the title, not yet. But for him to climb Mount Everest, let's be honest, people have died trying to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah,
Like we're not talking like a few. Like it's a good number of folks that have died trying to climb Mount Everest.
yeah,
I can see, to be honest, right now, hand to hand, and there nothing against Swerve, but I think the only dude that's tough enough, gritty enough to beat John Moxley is Hangman Adam Page. Like if it's one on one,
yeah.
and nothing against Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe whooped his ass in that cage.
Samoa Joe Joe got to him.
Yeah,
But if there's anybody that's just like, look, F it, we going straight fists, I think it's Hangman Adam Page.
yeah,
And I think he gets past Osprey, and when they go that next pay-per-view, I think Moxley drops the title and Page wins it.
yeah. Yeah.
I
I feel like
think Page wins it.
I feel like that's the way to go. That is the way to go. The next match is another Owen Hart, but this is the women's. This is Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter. Who is your pick to
Jamie
win?
Hayter.
Same.
Jamie
Hayter, because I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel this will be detrimental to the women's division if Mercedes win. And as a TBS champion and face Tony for the world's women's champion, you got to have two separate women's matches. So I feel like Jamie Hayter needs this win. She goes on at All In and face Tony Storm, which I feel like they're going to have a banger of a match. And I feel like Mercedes Moné need to defend that TBS title against Athena at All In. That's who I think she needed to defend it against. I feel like some way, somehow, that Athena needs to get herself involved in this match. Somehow, some way. I don't give a damn if there's a rhyme or reason to it. It just got to happen.
I can see it. And the reason I could is that's a match that the people want. We want to see Mercedes Moné and Athena go. Now we saw them go because they went first round in Owen, right? So
First round Owen.
Now you put gold on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And here's my question for you, because Athena is still AEW not AEW, Ring of Honor Women's World Champ, right?
Yes.
All right. Would we be interested in a winner take all?
I would say not so much, mainly because they added the women's pure championship, and they got a television championship, and they have the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. So I think what's going to happen is what Samoa Joe did when he was the king of television, and he had a TNT title and the Ring of Honor TV title. He just dropped the Ring of Honor title.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Athena would do that. Like she would probably say, "No one has ever beaten me for this Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. I'm gonna put down, and I'm bored with it. So now I'm gonna go to greener pastures. I'm gonna go to TBS. Do that kind of thing. So, yes, I would advertise it. Yeah, I would advertise it as winner take all though, but have Athena win and have Athena do the right thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that at all if she dropped it, because I think that's the best. I think that's the best way for her to go.
Yeah,
when nobody ever beat the TBS title, drop that Ring of Honor Women's title, and then of course Ring of Honor, they'll probably have like a little tournament, something like that, real quick to try to put somebody else at the top. But Jamie Hayter's got to win this match. If Jamie Hayter loses, it's not I don't think it would help the women's division, but at the same time, Mercedes could use a dub, because there's a title on that shoulder. If I'm right, she doesn't have anymore.
No, she don't have the strong women's championship, but she didn't get pinned for it. It's like she was in a multi-person match, and somebody else got pinned, and she lost it. So which means she still stays strong with that. But that also goes back to what you were saying, like early in the show, is that this is a defining moment. This pay-per-view is a defining moment
Yeah.
for AEW and All In. This and that and Owen, Will Ospreay and Hangman Page, those two key matches right there. Those two key matches are the ones that is going to define what's going to happen at All In, and if people are going to sell out.
How about this? Not only is this a defining moment, but is it Forbidden Door somewhere down the road?
Yes,
So I mean,
it's, after All In, yeah.
So Mercedes loses to Owen.
Mm-hmm.
She ends up facing Athena. She
Mm-hmm.
loses that TBS title.
Mm-hmm.
At Forbidden Door, she goes after that New Japan Strong again.
Mm-hmm.
And this time we can say she wins it back.
Yeah.
And then she goes hell bent on trying to become that belt collector again, because she really did remind me of Kenny Omega when he was the belt collector.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny, and he was really banged up. He was severely banged up at the time.
Yeah.
Kenny,
I mean, or she can go to Japan.
She can go to Japan. Of course, she's still under AEW, but she goes to Japan. Come and look. Not only does she win that strong title back, but she goes over there, she defends it, and comes back, talks all kind of cash shit about her defending it.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, somebody from the back, I don't know, you never know. We get Riho walk in or whatever, and then it's so many things you could do with Mercedes Moné. First off, in order for it to work, though, she needs to lose this match.
Yes, she got to go through a streak of losing, so the personality changes, and she gets the title back at Forbidden Door, and she goes and defends it in Japan, because she's also the Rev Pro Women's Champion, if I'm not mistaken, because I think she had more than she got that belt too. So there's that. Also, when we talk about Riho, I'm thinking about Hikaru Shida. But have her come back as a heel though. Like, has her come back as like a Yakuza type of character, because I feel like they was teasing a heel turn like last time.
They were teasing that type of character too. They were teasing that a little bit.
Right. So I think when she comes back, I'm like, oh man, like she could be a heel type character, but don't go after the Women's World Championship right away. Like, have her built up as a heel, because you do need more heel like women, on that side of the mountain. But that's neither here or there. But the next matchup is another women's match, and that is the AEW Women's World Championship, Timeless Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa. What's your pick?
You know who I'm going with.
Timeless.
You know I'm going with Timeless. Look. If there was a female wrestler I'm taking a bullet for, there's a list about 5 or 10 of them.
Yeah.
Toni Storm's in that top 5. I'm taking a bullet for. Of course, Bianca Belair is in the top 3. So Timeless Toni Storm's like number 4, but Bianca's like number 2 or 3 or whatnot. Yeah. And number 1 would be Nia Jax. Sorry, y'all. Nia Jax. Look at Nia Jax is fine and big boned. But I'm gonna go with Timeless Toni Storm with this one, but I think it's gonna be a hell of a match.
Absolutely,
because these two know each other. Yeah, they know each other. So I mean, I think it's gonna be a dope ass match.
I feel like Timeless will win this match, and Toni Storm is such a lovely character. Like, she's such a lovely person. Like, there's a picture circulating like after the last pay-per-view. It has Swerve, MVP, Tony, I think Ricochet, and they look high as a kite. like Tony looked like she was blitzed. She was like, man, I think it was at a Waffle House or something. I think it was in front of a Waffle House.
I think I saw that picture.
Yeah, that like, so I'm like, yeah, like Tony is protect Tony at all costs. All right. So so Tony will retain this. However, I feel like there's a ram in the bush here. I feel like there is someone else, because remember, these two are not the only two. I feel like through numerous circulation of news that her contract is ending in the summer, and blase, I feel like Mariah May will make an appearance on Sunday at Double or Nothing. Not for
I wouldn't
Tony
be
Storm
surprised.
though, but for Mina Shirakawa, because the story with Tony and Mariah has ended because they beat the piss out of each other last time they met. So,
Breaks off each other.
beat the brakes off each other. So I feel like Mariah is going to show up maybe after this match. That way it won't be no confusion. But I feel like there's some unfinished business between her and Mina. I feel like that's going to be an ongoing TV feud at some point, like going in. So see how this goes though.
And to be honest, I mean, you've got Mariah May could show up. Let's not forget, Megan Bain is in the wind. You could possibly see her just show up in this match and throw interference just to be doing it. Just to be doing it. So, I mean, is she dating Joey Janela?
Yes.
How did he pull? Okay. How did he pull?
Hey, man. Now, if you mention Megan Bain, Megan Bain is in a feud with Anna Jay and Harley Cameron currently.
Yeah. So again, real quick, that was no disrespect to Joey Janela. I've seen him. He's in impeccable shape and he looks good. I've seen what he's done in the Indies. Joey's doing this thing, but I mean, this match, I'm going with Timeless Tony Storm. But again, you're right. We could see Mariah May, and I hope she's staying with AEW because there's certain women wrestlers that need to stay here and right here because Tony's done a good job of putting that spotlight on the women's division. So we can see her show up. You're right.
Yeah, we could. Like both her and Mercedes. I mean, so when you're thinking about the women, I think about her, Mercedes, Willow,
definitely
Chris and Chris Statlander. Like those 4 women, have literally put that division on their back, like through bodies of work and what they've been doing or whatever. And then now other women are showcasing their talent, and now you're bringing in more women in. So I really do appreciate that. So here's my wish though. I would like to see more than 2 women's matches at All In. I want to see 3 of them. That's what I want to see 3 of them jumpers. Now we getting 2, but I want 3 of them. I want give me 3.
To be honest,
trio.
And I might be jumping the gun. I'm not opposed to a women's tag team title in AEW, but they need to fill in that division more.
Bro, I'm telling man, we've been asking. We're like, yo, when are they going to have an AEW women's tag division? Because you got the women for it. Like that leads to more TV time with the women. You got 2 shows. You got 2 shows, right? You got the singles women division with TBS. You got the singles women division when it comes to the World Championship. Have a tag division. Because I know when he announced the Ring of Honor Pure Championship for the women, I'm like, that's cool. You know, more titles mean more television, for Ring of Honor. But what about these tag team titles for AEW? You need those. Like, you need those. Because it's tag teams that just do good work together as a duo. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, hell, if you take the title off of Tony Storm, you could have, Tony called it Thunder Tits. But you got Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm. And, eventually, hopefully, one day, Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander. And you got Harley
those
Cameron.
2 will run through the division.
Right. You got Harley Cameron and Anna Jay, right? And you got Megan Bain and I do apologize. Her name escapes me right now. Penelope Ford. Yeah, Penelope Ford. So it's like, so you got a tag division, like you got something working there. Like, don't oversaturate it with like a tag division of trios. That's not going to work. But just get a tag division, put some tag titles there, and man, let the tag titles have white straps. Let it stand out. Let it stand out.
You got 2 shows.
Got 2 shows.
2 shows. You got 2 shows. One of them, which has been a banger for a few months now, in Collision.
Yeah.
You could start it there.
Yeah.
But you need. Matter of fact, they wouldn't even have to go get more women. Not specifically from AEW. Mm-hmm. Call up New Japan. Call up Rev Pro. Call up somebody.
CMLL.
Have CMLL. Just have them come up and compete. Because guess what? If they compete there once, you're gonna call them back.
Yeah.
You're gonna call them back. They're gonna come compete again. So I mean, it's just a matter of there's women you can call. Because my girl, that's the New Japan, New Japan women's strong champion now.
Yeah.
I had never seen her, but she came in, she looked good. She did her thing. She looked good in that match last week. So it's just Tony just needs to make the right call. That's it.
And also I have to send a special shout out to Lyric Wrestling. If some of you guys don't know who Lyric Wrestling is, Lyric, I follow her on X, and I also follow her on Threads. Like when I tell you, like she's in the trenches when it comes to Japanese wrestling. She's in the trenches. You understand? Like she's in the trenches. So if y'all want some knowledge on some Japanese wrestling, women and men, she is the person for that. Now, and she's also an AEW watcher as well. She does watch all facets of wrestling, but she mostly speaks about like the core wrestling styles, like Japanese style and and stuff like that. So she is definitely one of the ones. Now, the next matchup is this one, the Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas. What's your prediction on that?
Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. The Hurt Syndicate. Hurt Syndicate is easily. It's going to be a massacre.
This is going to get bad.
Very bad. Like this is a unanimous pick. Like this going to be the Hurt Syndicate. However, I will say this. I love seeing the Hurt Syndicate on TV, right? This angle they have with MJF, absolutely love it, because I do feel like at some point MJF was in a little bit of a low, just a little bit. And when he aligned himself with the Hurt Syndicate on these several TV segments with the Hurt Syndicate, it led to really, really good television. And it's going back to form that is MJF, right? So as far as the Hurt Syndicate is concerned, as far as the tag division, I like seeing them hurt people. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I love it.
You know what I'm saying? But they're running through that tag division like X-Lax. And I know that's the principle that you're trying to build, but you need strong tag teams because you need strong tag team matches. And I understand the story that's being built, and I get it. It just that critique. I do feel like that the Hounds of Hell are going to challenge them for the tag titles at All In, though. I do feel that way, because that is some stiff competition for them.
Yeah, they need somebody that's going. To me, there's only one team I think, because they'll beat the Hounds of Hell.
I don't think so. I don't think it could be Brody King and Buddy Murphy. Buddy Matthews. I'm sorry.
I think they will, barely. If the Hounds of Hell don't beat them, FTR will find a way to beat them.
But FTR the heel faction though, and Hurt Syndicate is not. Hurt Syndicate is heel, so it's like it won't match.
The Hurt Syndicate though, they're a fan favorite. Even though they're heels, they're fan favorite heels. But at the same time, before they even run up on FTR, the Hounds of Hell got it. If there's anybody else going to beat them outside of FTR, it would have to be the Hounds of Hell. Yeah, and that's going. And like you said, I agree. That's stiff competition. That's real competition for them, not crew who's no bigger than me and you. Yeah.
And on top of that, like now, crew got a story, especially with our old boy, because of the history, because he used to manage, he used to manage wrestling. History is right there. You know what I'm saying? So,
them guys ain't out quick. I don't care how fast you are. That's raw power. That's raw power with just either one of them.
Yeah.
Shelton ain't weak. I need people to realize Shelton. I don't even know. Shelton's what, mid-40s, mid to late 40s.
Give or take.
Shelton is a one. Shout out to Orangeburg, South Carolina. Shelton Benjamin on Orangeburg Wilkinson High School. Shelton is no slow leak. He's never been. The only issue Shelton had, his mic work sucked. But aside from that, Shelton is a
I don't think it did.
I didn't think it was that. I never thought it was that good. I always thought it could have been better, but I don't think he got the full opportunity on the mic like he should have. But Shelton is a wrestling genius when he's in that ring. Like he throws even the biggest of dudes around. And then look, and then you got him with Bobby Lashley as a tag team. Who's slamming them?
Well, okay. So here's what I mean.
Aside from Brody King.
So Buddy Matthews matches with Shelton Benjamin because they both strong and they're both fast.
Oh God.
Bobby Lashley matches with Brody King because it's power for power. That's why I say that is a perfect matchup between those two. And I wouldn't book it any other way at All In, but to put Buddy Matthews and Brody King against them two and have them beat them at All In, like or have them barely scrape by, or have an ongoing feud with them where it's like a 3-match type of thing, and finally they get the dub off of that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
because I'm cool with that.
Right. Because I do feel like the Hurt Syndicate needs a feud that they can't, because they go out and they hurt people, which I do enjoy. But everybody that comes out there and challenges them, they want to get their ass beat. First match, boom, done.
Slaughtered.
Slaughtered. You know what I mean? And I get it. You the tag division, but that tag division have to be bolstered up to the point where you can think of tag teams for them to face versus, well, who's going to face them next? You know what I'm saying? So it got to be that kind of energy with that.
Yeah, because when they faced Top Flight, I said, as soon as that match started, I said, any minute now, somebody's either going to get put in a hurt lock or they're going to get T-bone suplex with whatever. But yeah, it was only a matter of time before that match got ugly.
Yeah. And then FTR, speaking of FTR, we got FTR versus Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia. What is your pick for that?
I'm going with FTR.
I think it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's going to be FTR. But somehow, some way, they got to get Adam Copeland in there with Christian against them two at All In. They got between now and July to make that work. So far, FTR has not had cross paths with Christian or his family or what he got going on. Copeland is out, right? But a lot of people is like fantasy booking in their minds, like Edge and Christian versus FTR. Boom, 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 boom. But I think FTR definitely get this dub. And obviously, Stokely back on TV. Love to see it.
Well, that was 2 bags of ass.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That man right there. That man. So Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia, man. I feel like Daniel Garcia cooled off a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
But Paragon, like that is definitely the matchup between FTR. I did feel like they jumped the shark a little bit by having them face each other in Collision a few times, because I do feel like this feud is like can bring the best out of FTR. FTR as a babyface faction will cool off a whole lot faster than FTR as a heel faction, and I think they need to stay heel for a long time.
Yeah, like, I think their best work is heel.
Exactly. I mean, they will whoop your ass like that. Yeah. Matter of fact, you got yourself a fair point though, because like them in the Hurt Syndicate, that might be a banger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm telling you, because with the way FTR works, remember that little saying they used to have? Fists, not flips.
Fist, like, not flip. Yeah.
Like they're chill so well. I used to tell folks that these two dudes, they're built body-wise.
Yeah.
They're built the same.
Yeah.
Like body-wise, they're built the exact same. They're built to beat ass. That's it. They're not built to get on the top rope. They're not built to do all that high flying. They're built to stay on the mat, flat-footed, and beat the holy hell out of you, which
the brain busters.
they've done such a good job at busting ass. That's it.
The brain busters.
That's all they do.
That's who they are. That's who they remind me of. They're the brain busters. That's who they remind me of.
Brain busters.
I do feel like Nigel McGuinness is going to show off his talent a lot in this. I do feel like this is like a slow moving into Nigel McGuinness being part of AEW wrestling, some matches here and there. But like I said, LTR are going to get that dub. Now, the other part of it is, because I don't have the picture up, is the main event, which is Anarchy in the Arena. Now, we don't know who's all going to be in it, but we can speculate who's all going to be in it, right? What I do know for sure, though, is Samoa Joe is going to be in it. Swerve's going to be in it. Kenny Omega is going to be in it. And Willow is going to be in it. On the other side, I know the Bucks is going to be in it.
Yep.
I know Gabe Kidd is going to be in it. I know John Moxley is going to be in it. And I know Marina Shafir is going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, who you think is going to win that? You think Swerve's team is going to win that? Or you think John's team is going to win that?
The Death Riders could use it because they did lose those trios titles.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got the AEW champion on your side, and you just got yourself a brand new Death Rider. I could see. I'm going with Team Death. I'm going with the Death Rider / Young Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, there's going to be another party coming in and screwing over Swerve's team. Who it's going to be? Don't know.
Don't know. I feel like it might be a woman.
It could be a woman. It could mess around and be somebody like Okada. You know what? Okada's probably won't even be involved.
He will be, because he's in there. He's in there. That's one person I did miss.
He hopefully he's going to be in the match. I hope he is.
80% certain he's going to be in it because of Kenny Omega, and they're pushing for Kenny versus Okada at All In.
All right, so Okada's in the match. So someone is either somebody's going to interfere at this match, cause the Death Riders and the Bucks to win. Well, the Elite and the Death Riders to win, and
I think it's a woman.
It could be because you know what? This woman that comes in, she becomes part of the Elite. Not the Death Riders already have that woman. The Elite don't.
No, I think she's going to be part of the Death Riders. And the person I'm thinking is somebody that might be Shayna Baszler.
She is tight with Marina Shafir.
I'm fantasy booking. But I do want it. Or it could be what I mentioned earlier. It could be Hikaru Shida. She could come back as a heel, and she could be part of the Death Rider team with Marina Shafir. That could be part of it too.
WWE no longer has. They no longer have that 90-day. Do they still have that?
I want to say they do.
Because
30 days.
Because if they still have that 90-day non-compete clause, which they shouldn't, because the Better Business Bureau kind of put a stop to stuff like that. But if she still has that, then she won't be able to show up. But if she doesn't, all bets off.
All bets off. My guess is here's what I want out of Anarchy in the Arena. I want chaos like it's normal. I want ignorant shit. But at the same time, I want the women to be at the forefront. I want the women to end that match between Willow and Marina Shafir. That's who I want to end that thing. Like it could be a plethora of things, but I do want a woman to get involved to determine the outcome of Anarchy in the Arena, because of the simple fact it could be 3 people. It could be Shayna Baszler, right? But if her contract was before the Better Business Bureau put that out there, then legally they can't do that. But she's still with that 90 days. But Hikaru Shida is a good pick because she hasn't been on TV in quite some time. So that's her. And also Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander could be that other factor. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know what?
I just want the women just to show they ass in Arcade Arena.
Since you have women in this match, since you should have women in this match as well.
Yeah,
I believe we easily will see the women finish this match as it should happen. Chris Statlander, since you know what? Nope, I'm not going to say that because Chris has been trying to kill the rift between them. Yeah, and she's been getting shut down. So either Statlander, she could go either way. If she does show up, she could either join the Death Riders, which I wouldn't be opposed to it, or she could join the Elite, which I wouldn't be opposed to that either, because if she joins the Elite, then she goes from that nice Statlander that AEW's favorite alien or whatever that she was, to an Elite Statlander looking down on the rest of the women's division, and the Elite even doing something like, hey, let's hand her a women's world championship opportunity. And next thing you know, the Elite screws over Tony. And then guess what? You got Timeless Tony Storm feuding with the Elite. I mean, I would make it. You can go ahead and just make it rain.
Print money. That's printing money. That's printing money.
You can go ahead and make it rain a little bit. So I mean,
that's printing money.
If it ain't Baszler, if it's an unknown that we don't, it could be an unknown. But or if it's Statlander, it's gonna be one of those three. It's either going to be somebody like Baszler, Statlander, which I'm kind of hoping it's Statlander, or we get an unknown. Yeah, and that unknown, whoever that unknown is, it's got to be whoever comes out. I think this could possibly make the moment for the pay-per-view. It could be one of the many moments that this pay-per-view will have, and those moments, oh my god. So I mean, this pay-per-view is going to do some damage to WrestleMania.
It's going to do some damage. If done correctly. Now, I will say this though. Now, Gabe Kidd is the wild card in this, right? But I feel like Gabe Kidd and Samoa Joe are going to have some problems, because Gabe Kidd is the one who hit Samoa Joe to stop him from winning the world championship, right? Now, mind you, Samoa Joe is is 1/3 of the trio's champions. So you got Powerhouse Hobbs and Kazuchika Shibata, right? So you can have, the trio. It's going to be a trios match. I'm hoping there's a trios match between them and the Elite. Now, where Swerve comes in at, I don't know where Swerve come in at. You know what I'm saying? That part, I don't know where Swerve come in at.
I think Swerve is going to be busy trying to get Mox. I think he's going to be hell bent on getting Mox.
That's true. That's true. But depends on how it all, like I said, like the Owen is the two most important matches on this show, because that would determine I feel like that's determined the full trajectory of All In. Like those are the two most important matches. I feel like those are the matches that you really, really need to pay attention to. And also another wild card, MJF, because we don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday, because it's contract signing that's supposed to happen on Wednesday. Mind you, I think Cedric Alexander actually did a show or two elsewhere, so he may pull up on Wednesday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He might be the one who knocked MJF block off. You know what I'm saying? We do not know. So that's the thing with it, man. There's a lot of unpredictability with Double or Nothing, but I hope they pull the trigger correctly. I hope
you know what makes this pay-per-view so good now? When I watched WrestleMania,
right,
I kind of knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
For Double or Nothing, dog, I don't know shit. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to happen. For all I care, every match could have somebody show up.
Yeah.
Every match, every card, somebody could pull up.
And honestly, so now here's Wrestling 101. I wouldn't do that because that would kind of make the show stale.
I know, but it's just
kind of like that rule, like you can't break a table over here because somebody else going to break a table down there, down the line, that kind of thing.
Exactly. That's how good these match. I'm of course nobody's going to just pull up in every match, do outside interferences every match. But that's how good this pay-per-view is looking. Like it's like gambling.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what the hell is going to happen because you're gambling. Every match on here is one big crapshoot. You do not know what's about to happen. Like we can make our predictions,
right?
And we can be wrong on every prediction,
right?
And this show comes out to be 10 times, 100 times better than what we predicted.
Mm-hmm.
And not only does like Anarchy in the Arena, we're saying that Chris Statlander or Shayna Baszler could come out.
Yeah.
It could mess around be a female wrestler that has never stepped in, that's never been in the ring in AEW, and somebody it could be somebody that we've never seen in WWE, but we know who this person is.
Yeah,
crazy ass ODB could show up, and I'm sitting here like, what the hell is she doing here? And next thing you know, she's a Death Rider. Now I'm just using that example, but then again, this entire pay-per-view has got me sitting here like any damn thing can happen on this pay-per-view. And to be honest, that right there is why Tony Khan ain't missed, because he doesn't leave it. And it's taken me so many of his pay-per-views to finally get this.
Yeah.
He doesn't allow you to make the script of, you know what's going to happen. Every match is always, damn, I didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
Every match is like that, and especially Double or Nothing with the theme. Double or Nothing, it's gambling, so he knows he's gambling with the big moment in these matches. And
you're playing with house money.
I can playing with house money and about to walk out like Money Mayweather.
Yep.
And if anybody knows Money Mayweather, that brother likes to gamble.
Mm-hmm.
Truth be told, his security, a lot of folks don't know this, but when he goes to gamble, he's got a security team. He's got one guy that's in charge of watching the Louis Vuitton bag. Mm-hmm. And that Louis Vuitton bag is the money he gambles with. He's put his receipts on Instagram saying, hey, I bet 300,000 in 1/4 of a game, and I walked away with 500,000.
Yeah,
that's what this reminds me of, and I'm freaking excited about it.
I'm excited about it because I mean, like I said, it's playing with house money. I will say this though, and I say this with any wrestling show, because I think us as fans, especially the tribalistic ones, like, you know, in this social media age, people they will fantasy book in their heads, and they got it fixed in their head. This is who's going to face who. This is going to face who at this pay-per-view. This is going to be who. And then when it doesn't happen, you're disappointed, but you're mad at the booker for having that result, when in actuality, you made that booking in your own mind. But now I ain't gonna lie, I was salty that Swerve lost against John Moxley. I was salty about that. I was like,
I was too.
You could have pulled a trigger on that one. You could have did that. And on top of that, you could have had Hangman and Swerve at the main event at All In. However, I do understand the logic. Like, are you going to have Swerve there for just a month and a half or 2 months as a champion, only for him to drop it to Hangman? Like, you really want to do that to him? So
I was cool with him losing.
Right. So I'm like, okay, I kind of get that. So only time will tell as far as what's going to happen. But look, we will find out. We will find out on Sunday, which this is the moment of the airing. So we will find out tonight what's going to happen at Double or Nothing. And we will be back to actually discuss Double or Nothing and trajectory future of All In.
Yes,
And,
sir.
Yeah, man. You got anything else for the listeners out there?
Everybody, if you don't do anything else, look here. If you don't want to be famous, be infamous at it, be damn good. Shout out to the man himself, the man to my side right here, Big E, not Biggie Langston. We talking about Ersk Mac for the platform. Shout out, look here, shout out to Boogie Blends, shout out to Vivo, everybody that's watching us, man. Please look here, support the Patreon, jump in the Discord. Do everything you can to support. The more you support, the more the Orange Phoenix family expands. So till next time.
Peace.